Hello and welcome to A Course in Miracles in Practice. We're so pleased you're here to delve into the practical application of the Course. Each day, we consider a new lesson from the workbook with the intention of bringing its wisdom into our lives in tangible ways. Today, we're diving into the Course Lesson 131.
Let's read it through first.
No one can fail who asks to reach the truth.
Failure is all about you, while you seek for goals which cannot be achieved.
You look for permanence in the impermanent, for love where there is none, for safety in the midst of danger, immortality within the darkness of the dream of death.
Who could succeed where contradiction is the setting of his searching and the place to which he comes to find stability?
Goals which are meaningless are not attained.
There is no way to reach them, for the means by which you strive for them are meaningless as they are.
Who can use such senseless means and hope through them to gain in anything?
Where can they lead?
And what can they achieve that offers any hope of being real?
Pursuit of the imagined leads to death because it is the search for nothingness.
And while you seek for life, you ask for death.
You look for safety and security, while in your heart you pray for danger and protection for the little dream you made.
Yet searching is inevitable here.
For this you came, and you will surely do the thing you came for.
But the world cannot dictate the goal for which you search unless you give it power to do so.
Otherwise, you still are free to choose a goal that lies beyond the world and every worldly thought, and one which comes to you from an idea relinquished yet remembered, old yet new, an echo of a heritage forgot, yet holding everything you really want.
Be glad that search you must.
Be glad as well to learn you search for heaven and must find the goal you really want.
No one can fail to want this goal and reach it in the end.
God's Son cannot seek vainly, though he try to force delay, deceive himself, and think that it is hell he seeks.
When he is wrong, he finds correction. When he wanders off, he is led back to his appointed path.
No one remains in hell, for no one can abandon his Creator, nor affect his perfect, timeless, and unchanging love.
You will find heaven.
Everything you seek by this will fall away, but not because it has been taken from you.
It will go because you do not want it.
You will reach the goal you really want, as certainly as God created you in sinlessness.
Why wait for heaven?
It is here today.
Time is the great illusion. It is past or in the future.
Yet this cannot be if it is where God wills his Son to be.
How could the will of God be in the past or yet to happen?
What he wills is now, without a past and wholly futureless.
It is as far removed from time as is a tiny candle from a distant star, or what you chose from what you really want.
Heaven remained your one alternative to this strange world you made in all its ways, its shifting patterns and uncertain goals, its painful pleasures and its tragic joys.
God made no contradictions.
What denies its own existence and attacks itself is not of him.
He did not make two minds, with heaven as the glad effect of one, and earth the other's sorry outcome, which is heaven's opposite in every way.
God does not suffer conflict, nor is his creation split in two.
How could it be his Son could be in hell when God himself established him in heaven?
Could he lose what the eternal will has given him to be his home forever?
Let us try no longer to impose an alien will upon his single purpose.
He is here because he wills to be, and what he wills is present now, beyond the reach of time.
Today, we will not choose a paradox in place of truth.
How could the Son of God make time to take away the will of God?
He thus denies himself and contradicts what has no opposite.
He thinks he made a hell opposing heaven and believes that he abides in what does not exist, while heaven is the place he cannot find.
Leave foolish thoughts like these behind today and turn your mind to true ideas instead.
No one can fail who asks to reach the truth, and it is truth we ask to reach today.
We will devote 10 minutes to this goal 3 times today.
And we will ask to see the rising of the real world, to replace the foolish images that we held dear, with true ideas arising in the place of thoughts which have no meaning, no effect, and neither source nor substance in the truth.
This we acknowledge as we start upon our practice periods.
Begin with this.
I ask to see a different world and think a different kind of thought from those I made.
The world I seek I did not make alone. The thoughts I want to think are not my own.
For several minutes, watch your mind and see, although your eyes are closed, the senseless world you think is real.
Review the thoughts as well, which are compatible with such a world and which you think are true.
Then let them go, and sink below them to the holy place where they can enter not.
There is a door beneath them in your mind, which you could not completely lock to hide what lies beyond.
Seek for that door and find it.
But before you try to open it, Remind yourself, no one can fail who asks to reach the truth, and it is this request you make today.
Nothing but this has any meaning now. No other goal is valued now nor sought. Nothing before this door you really want, and only what lies past it do you seek.
Put out your hand and see how easily the door swings open with your one intent to go beyond it.
Angels light the way so that all darkness vanishes and you are standing in a light so bright and clear that you can understand all things you see.
A tiny moment of surprise, perhaps, will make you pause before you realize the world you see before you in the light reflects the truth you knew and did not quite forget in wandering away in dreams.
You cannot fail today.
There walks with you the spirit heaven sent you that you might approach this door someday, and through his aid, slip effortlessly past it to the light.
Today, that day has come.
Today, God keeps his ancient promise to his holy Son, as does his Son remember his to him.
This is a day of gladness, for we come to the appointed time and place where you will find the goal of all your searching here and all the seeking of the world, which end together as you pass beyond the door.
Remember often that today should be a time of special gladness and refrain from dismal thoughts and meaningless laments.
Salvation's time has come.
Today is set by heaven itself to be a time of grace for you and for the world.
If you forget this happy fact, remind yourself with this.
Today I seek and find all that I want.
My single purpose promises it to me.
No one can fail who asks to reach the truth.
No, okay, so that's lesson 131. It immediately makes me think about how frustrating it can be chasing things that just don't deliver.
Right.
I remember, really going after certain kinds of recognition at work, thinking this will be it. This will make me feel whole or something.
And then what happens?
Well, you get it, and there's maybe a brief high, but then the feeling fades. That sense of something still missing just creeps back in. It was like chasing, I don't know, shadows.
That really ties into the lesson's image, doesn't it? The person dying of thirst right on top of a spring they don't even know is there.
Exactly. That feeling of being in a desert, searching desperately.
When a real source of fulfillment, that connection to source, it's right there, just beneath the surface of our usual awareness.
It's a very strong analogy. It makes you question all those things. We typically chase the promotion, the perfect relationship as the world sees it, the ideal body, financial security.
Mm-hmm. Are these goals even attainable in the way we imagine? The lesson seems to say they're based on an illusion.
The illusion of separation, right, and seeking permanence in things that are, by their very nature, impermanent.
It's like trying to build a house on shifting sand. Or maybe like drinking salt water when you're thirsty. It seems like it should help, but it actually makes things worse.
That's a good way to put it. Or the lesson's point about the means being meaningless, too.
Yeah.
Like trying to connect to the internet with a hammer. The tool just doesn't fit the job.
Yeah, the tool is designed for separation, for navigating the world of form. But what we truly want is connection, oneness, which isn't found using those same tools.
And think about how much effort goes into trying to feel special.
Oh, definitely. The competition, the comparisons, accumulating things.
The Course suggests that this drive for specialness, for a separate identity, actually reinforces the very feeling of lack it's trying to fix.
It's a feedback loop, isn't it?
Yeah.
The more separate and special we try to be, the more we feel that underlying separation.
Which brings us to that really challenging idea in the lesson.
The one about asking for death while seeking life.
Yes, that what we often think of as the good life, achieving all the worldly goals, the Course frames it as a kind of, spiritual sleepwalking, a denial of our true unified nature.
Because it keeps us invested in the dream, in the illusion of separation. We end up praying for protection for the little dream, as the lesson puts it.
Instead of praying to wake up from it, it reframes everything. Have you noticed that cycle in your own experience? Achieving something you really wanted.
Oh, absolutely. You get the thing, and maybe there's relief, maybe satisfaction for a bit.
But then...
And the mind just finds a new thing to want. Or the satisfaction just evaporates. It never quite delivers that final lasting peace we thought it would.
Which is exactly what the lesson describes. Seeking permanence where it isn't.
But here's the flip side, the really hopeful part.
Go on.
No one can fail who asks to reach the truth.
Right.
And no one can fail to want this goal heaven and reach it in the end.
That promise is central, isn't it? That despite all our detours, all our searching in the wrong places,
the underlying desire for truth, for our real identity, is always there. And it's guaranteed to be fulfilled. God's Son cannot seek vainly.
So even when we mess up, when we wander off into thinking hell is what we want,
correction happens. Guidance comes. We're gently led back. It suggests our true nature is inevitable, essentially. We can delay it, maybe, but we can't actually lose it.
Which connects to the idea of heaven not being some future place.
Right. Why wait for heaven? It is here today. That's such a radical statement.
It shifts everything from striving towards a distant goal to simply recognizing what's already present.
Heaven is our natural state, just obscured by our focus on this strange world we made, with all its contradictions and uncertainties.
Time itself is presented as the illusion that keeps us from seeing it.
Exactly. God's will, which is our true reality, is now. It's timeless. So heaven isn't later. It's just a shift in perception away from the ego's world of time and fear.
From fear to love, essentially. So how do we make this practical? How do we start, living from that understanding day to day?
Well, the lesson gives some direct pointers. Approaching each day as potentially the day, the appointed time and place to find what we're truly seeking.
Instead of just getting caught up in the usual anxieties and complaints.
Right. Setting aside those dismal thoughts and meaningless laments, and remembering that heaven has set this time, today, as a time of grace.
Yeah.
Holding that possibility open.
And using the affirmation.
Repeating, today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose promises it to me. No one can fail who asks to reach the truth. It sort of reorients the mind, especially when you feel lost or like you're back in that fruitless search.
It anchors you back to that core promise.
Yeah. And then there's the practice periods themselves, those 3 10-minute sessions.
Taking that time to consciously step back from the senseless world we usually perceive.
Closing your eyes, acknowledging the usual thoughts, the world you think is real, and then intentionally letting them go, sinking beneath them.
Seeking that holy place within, the door that isn't fully locked.
It's an active choice to look beyond the surface level of thought, isn't it? With a specific intention. I want to see differently, think differently. I'm asking for truth.
And the lesson emphasizes that this isn't a struggle. The door opens easily with the intent to go beyond it.
Because the Spirit is with us, guiding us. It says we cannot fail today because that helper is right there.
So the takeaway really seems to be about shifting our focus, realizing the search is inevitable, but the object of our search needs redirection.
From the external, the impermanent, the world of illusion.
To the internal, the eternal, the truth of who we are, which the lesson says holds everything we really want.
It's about remembering, not achieving something new. Recognizing what's already ours, just waiting beneath the surface noise.
It invites a deep reflection on our own patterns of seeking, doesn't it? Where do you habitually look for fulfillment?
And could it be that the answer, the peace you long for, is actually much closer than you think? Available right now, just by asking to see it.
So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is this. Consider what would shift in your daily choices, in your focus, if you truly deeply believed that your ultimate desire, that connection, that peace, was absolutely guaranteed.
If you knew you couldn't fail to find it, simply by sincerely asking to recognize it, how would that change the way you approach your day? Thank you for taking this time with us.
Yeah, and we really hope you'll carry these powerful affirmations with you. See how they resonate as you move through your day.
Absolutely.